I going right way? As she struggles for neutral. Am I going right way?
Yeah, I think so.
It did say Eggborough, didn't it?
It says Eggborough, yeah. Did you see where we just come past?
What?
Gale Common.
Eh?
We just come past Gale Common turning. You can get to Gale Common that way instead of going that motorway.
Oh really? I never knew that.
I've just seen it. I thought, fucking hell, Gale Common, I didn't know.
Oh, I never knew that. So is that the right way? It was just straight, wasn't it, over that roundabout to Eggborough, then you go left at the next one, don't you?
I think so, yeah, because you go through Eggborough itself, and I think you just keep going straight on.
Shall we just do it?
We'll find his way.
Yeah. Well, you want to go in front?
Do you want me to do?
Yeah, go on. Quick, you're clear. Yes, bike is a little loud, isn't it? Quite a good view, isn't it? All the smokestack chimneys, whatever they are, cooling towers, aren't they? Like that. Pretty cool. Just follow me. How do you find it?
I like it.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's a lot.
It's fucking smooth as well, isn't it?
Smoother than I thought.
Yeah.
Comfier.
Yeah. You don't. It's very impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. It's comfier than that.
You don't think it's it rides beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah. I really like it.
It's at corners though, it just like fucking.
Yeah, I didn't get much chance of
I
coming.
know. Traffic's mad, isn't it? There.
But I really like it.
It's very impressive, isn't it?
Everything's your brakes and everything are mint.
Yeah. You feel like it's brand new, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because of my engineering, that.
It is.
Welcome to PXC Bikes. If you just tuned in, this video I'm making right now has took a long time to make because I've had many problems trying to get out on this bike, but I'm not going to go into it. I may go into that in the end why, but what's more important is just telling you all how I found this bike over the 4 years of ownership. So originally I'd done 5,000 miles when I bought it, and I've done 7,332 now. So about 1,800 miles, something like that, not many. I did restore it. If you look at my previous videos, way back, way down, this bike was in a bit of a piss poor condition for its mileage. I brought it all nice up to its proper standard, where it should be anyway. So I thought I'd start off this video by riding through Barnsley town centre because two reasons. One, I love going around Barnsley town centre, having a little bit of a nosy, see what's going down, and two is just to explain how easy this bike is to ride around town. It is so bloody powerful, but yeah, it's so gentle when you want it to be gentle. So thought you were going to turn then. I'm just passing the new bus station. Got Greg's up here, We've got the cinema. Oh, stop for the lights. So, Parkway Cinema. Can you see that Parkway Cinema there on your right hand side? I'm not going to point because people think I'm a weirdo. It's Parkway Cinema. I love that place. It's a classic old cinema. I've seen many films there since I was a kid. I did explain that in one of my other videos where I was reviewing the bikes I had. So what films have I seen there? I've seen Kill Bill. I saw Kill Bill there. And what else have I seen? Lord of the Rings. I saw Lord of the Rings there. They usually have something going off in Barnsley town. I have a quick look. It looks empty today. It's not a weekend anyway. They usually have a food festival or something like that. And they've restored all this. Start to restore all this front now. Look, bringing all the old decor out. Bus in town. You ride round here, all you can smell is fish and chips. I always thought she wanted a lift then. When putting her hand out to me. Give us a lift. Markets on. Good nightlife around Barnsley. Lots of wonderful beers. Town hall, the lovely town hall. So this bike is an excellent town commuter because it feels like a 600 when you're riding around town. The clutch is insanely light. The gearboxes, again, the gearbox is feather light. You can't feel the... Sorry, just a minute. Although you do have to give it some beans on hill starts. The gearbox is feather light. You can barely feel... It feels like a 125 or something like that. It's that smooth, the gearbox on it. And you don't really get pains riding this. It doesn't matter what the traffic format is. If it's rammed, you're not getting pains because the light clutch and gearbox. And it doesn't chug around either. The gearing's standard on this, so it's not like the big 1000cc V-twins or anything like that. It's nice and smooth on power delivery. We'll go left down here. Look at that old strip club there. Wish someone would do something with that. Reopen it or something, you know. Excuse me everybody, I just had to escape from town because literally going around a few other bends, the traffic was absolutely rammed and I was trying to get out. There was no room to filter or anything, so I've ditched Barnsley off today and I'm out here, alright? This is one of the reasons why I'm not enjoying riding road bikes, by the way. Yeah, you shouldn't go around town all the time on them, but roads are absolutely gridlocked everywhere you go, and it's just no fun commuting around in traffic all the time. Anyway, I believe, I mean, people say that the Ducati 916 is the most beautiful bike ever made, but when you actually do look at this bike for the era when it came out, it's absolutely stunning. It is a work of art, and it has transformed. You know, the shape of this bike has transformed, I believe, where other bikes are designed today, with its sharp edges, its knife-like features on it, and the colour. I love this colour. I mean, I know that the white and red one is the more aggressive-looking R1, but this one I believe is the most beautiful. I love this colour, and there are many people having bikes painted, the Yamahas, painted in this colour when these came out. Same thing when the Subaru Impreza came out, you know, the Colin McRae one, that was similar blue to this, wasn't it? Beautiful. So the bike is so gentle to ride. I do say that if you've passed your test and you've not really ridden a motorcycle previous to that, I think you could get on with this easy. It's dangerous because it's very, very fast, but I do truly believe that you can get on with this bike. It's that easy to ride. The gearbox is light, the clutch is very light on it, the throttle's very light. It's gentle, it's very, very gentle, but if you want to move on it, you twist that throttle and instantly it just comes alive more than anything you could possibly imagine. It's very underrated. The handling is confidence inspiring, even though if you're not a professional rider or an experienced rider, it makes you feel relaxed because the suspension is well in tune with itself, the chassis, everything, you know, the I mean, this has got standard KYB forks on it. I don't know if the rear shocks are KYB, but it's got KYB forks on it, and it feels like it's packing some Ollins goodies, to be honest with you. It's that smooth. It's probably smoother ride on this bike than it is driving my car, or any car I've driven, to be honest with you. You go over some local bumps in the road on this, and you just don't feel them. It's got a nice soft suspension, the rear end, but it's not soft enough to make it rock around on bends when when you're having a little bit of fun on it. It's very good at angling, very confidence inspiring. I do say it's a ladies bike because my wife loves this R1. It's just, she likes the look of it. It's smooth, it's easy, it's light. It's that light that it feels like the engine's falling out of it every time I come to pull it out of the garage. It's probably the lightest superbike I've ever sat on or ridden, to be honest with you. Just doing a little emergency stop here. I do apologise to those car drivers. I'm just doing a little emergency stop because this is where we stop to have a look at him, isn't it? Let's have a look at him. Oh, last time I was here I was on the 125, wasn't there? A little stop-off point. I mean, look at that. It's a gorgeous machine. So it's a 2001 model with the 98 looking livery on it. So I put the 98 stickers on and the 98 exhaust, which did come with it, by the way, the exhaust. And I prefer that, the carbon fibre one, to the titanium. Why would you want titanium over carbon fibre? I don't know. But since it does want a little bit of a wash, this bike, it's been out in the wet, hasn't it? It's beautiful. The machine is beautiful. It looks like it's fast when it's parked and it's not even moving anywhere. And it's such a comfortable bike to ride. The only discomfort I have on this bike is this clutch lever. Because the way it's set up, I can't move it down any further. These feel a little bit low. Of course, it would be better with an aftermarket clutch lever on this, or some longer bars so you can move it out a little further, but that is the only discomfort on this. So I do get a few wrist pains because I just want this to move down probably about 5 mil or something like that. 5 or 10 mil, it will help, but I can't, so that does give me a few little wrist issues. Anyway, we'll get him back on the road. Getting back on the road and see what they can do for us all. Lots of mud and stones around here, be very careful. Not bad on fuel. It's got a massive tank. I've gone quite far on this and not had the fuel light on or anything like that. It's got a massive tank despite its horsepower. I don't know what horsepower it is. Is it 160, 70 this? It feels like it's a lot more. For an inline 4, it's just got an enormous amount of torque to it. And it looks modern as well. When I'm sat on this, it feels like it's a modern bike. There was a little speedo and a tiny front fairing. Usually these old 90s bikes, they seem to have massive fairings that you can tuck under and get your whole family in there, with massive clocks. But this just feels like a modern bike. It doesn't feel its age at all. And to be honest, riding it, I don't know what all other R1s feel like, ones that's done like 30,000 miles and stuff like that, but this just feels like it's straight out of the showroom. Everything's still tight on it. It's rigid, and the brakes are fine on it, the suspension's fine on it. Everything just seems to work like brand spanking new. It's so well balanced and set up. I mean, when this bike came out, its predecessors was the FZRs, and they're just like, they're starting to look pretty now. But back in the day when the Cat 916 came out and stuff, and the S-Rods of the ZXRs just looked a little bit boxy, should I say? Like big bad white and pink boxers. So, not to say that they're ugly bikes, but when you look at this R1 compared to an FZR 1000 X-Up, you think it's a totally different machine design altogether, isn't it? And there must have been, I mean, Yamaha must have been plotting this thing for a while. But one thing, I mean, Yamaha is known for its instruments, obviously, its finely tuned instruments, but this bike does feel like a finely tuned instrument. That's one thing I'll say about it. I'm not a massive Yamaha fan, but I've owned several Yamaha bikes, and surprisingly, I ride them quite well and I get on with them quite well, but still I'm not a Yamaha fan. I'm really a Kawasaki man by heart. It's just the colour, the green. I love the green. Usually Kawasaki bikes, they are aggressive through and through, you know. But this bike is I get on with it straight away more than my, I think probably more than my Melee. I could probably ride this better than my Melee. That's another bike I'm going to be getting out soon. There are many things I like about this bike, and one thing is that if you want to have a little bit of fun on it, I'd say, not being an idiot, if you want to pull out of a corner with hard throttle, the front end doesn't seem to lift. If you want to wheel this bike, it will wheelie, but you give it some stick coming out of a corner and the bike just, it gets up to speed quickly, and it's just engineered to drive forward, not to jump out of your hands. It's just so impressive. As you can see and hear by the tone of my voice, I'm quite comfortable and happy. So I'm just encouraged to swing this bike around and give it a bit of throttle, stuff like that. Oh dear. Well, I'm trying to get into a bit of a flow, but I mean, what's he on the other side of the road for to go around this bend? Why? Why are they doing that? This is one thing I've noticed. Look at them, it's fucking crazy. Other side of the road. Most of these blends are blind bends. He's on the middle of the road. He or she. This is one thing why it bothers me about being on a road bike now is the traffic, the chaos, the traffic build up everywhere, and also the calibre of drivers in Britain now. They just seem to be absolutely lethal. There's some bikers are absolutely lethal. I mean, the other day I was driving my van back from Leeds, going through Womersley, and there's some biking roads there, and there was a guy behind me on a BMW adventure bike. I was just waiting for him to go around me, and I kind of give him enough room to go around me. There were some straight roads and things, but he never did. He just stayed riding up my arse. And I got towards a blind bend, and I could see where I was sat in the van, another bike coming up the side of the road, and this guy behind me, he overtook me on a blind bend and almost hit the biker oncoming, and then he took off up the road like a prat. I just don't know what goes through people's mind, you know. And well, you know, we all fool around on motorbikes a bit, believe me, we do. But the thing is, there's a time and place for it, isn't there? You know, if you want to take risks, but there is actually a time and place for it. Well, I shouldn't be saying that, actually, should I? Don't want to encouraging people to go around speeding, but that's one thing why I'm gonna go. Fucking hell, I'm gonna go left as well. The slightest bit of throttle on this bike, you can definitely feel it. More or less in any gear. It's incredibly set up. I mean, the design of it and the torque of that engine, you say it's carburetor, it's incredible. It does feel like a fuel injected bike. It doesn't have any bog hardly or nothing. It's so responsive. Usually with carbureted engines, as soon as you set the throttle so far, it'll just pick up on its own regardless, you know, like the dirt bikes and what have you. But with fuel injection, you get a more progressive throttle. But this bike has got a very progressive throttle, but it's also got that smoothness of a carburetor on the bottom end. It's just so well designed, it is. I can't believe that. I mean, 2001 doesn't seem that far away from me. I mean, there's an X7R. Well, still had carburettors up to 2002, didn't it? And was it discontinued then? You've got to watch the brakes on it. They're not brilliant. But they're enough for they're enough to keep you alive. Well, I'm surprised, you know, we're in West Yorkshire County now. West Yorkshire land, and usually, where should I go? Usually I avoid West Yorkshire because Barnsley's quiet and it's a place to go, but it looks like these roads are quiet. I'm surprised. Looks like Barnsley's the local hustle and bustle now. Everyone's going to Barnsley. So I'm in like 6th gear and I'm just cruising at 50 on a national speed limit road, and I can just wind on this and it doesn't shake or shudder at anything. It'll just pick up and go. Oh Christ, that stinks. Oh God, why do you want to do that as a job? Someone's got to do it, I suppose, spinning the muck. One thing I've noticed about when you get behind certain people on a motorbike, they go slow and they're slower and slower and slower. This is a 50 road and she's going 38 miles per hour. 50 road. Okay, so she actually let me go around her. She let me pass her. Bloody hell. So I did say earlier it's taken me 4 years to do a video on this, and I'm going to briefly explain why. Every time I try to do a video on this, I've had something stop me, whether it be technical issues with the equipment, the weather, mostly the weather. When I first built the bike, it was winter, it was rolling into winter time, so I couldn't get out on it until the following year. And when I did, what gear am I in, by the way? It took me. And when I did, I went round Derbyshire Dales and did a lot of recording. When I pulled up, when I got home, there was no audio on the footage. I was unaware of it, so sadly I bought a new microphone for the GoPro. It wasn't that, it was actually the GoPro. I couldn't get that working, so I got myself a new GoPro, second-hand one should I say. And when I got that GoPro, I went back out on the bike again, pissed it down with rain, so I had to ditch that idea off. Then I got another attempt further on in the year to go out on it, and the batteries, I had battery problems with the GoPro. I bought more batteries, but yet they still wouldn't work, so it's obviously a defective GoPro. I think putting an Acapulco or race silencer on this, it's something I just wouldn't do, because when you get up to some speed with it, you don't hear the engines much, you just hear the wind rush past you. It's like being in an electric car and putting your foot down or something with the head out the window, I suppose. But it's just like the jet engine effect, kind of like that. It takes off, like you get that feeling like you're going on holiday and you're on a jet plane, you've been sat on the runway and they slam the throttle down and begin to launch you off. That's what it feels like when you pull away on this thing. You just hear that wind noise, the road noise dragging past you, and it absolutely makes the bike feel like it's going 3 times faster than it is. I know why women choose R1s, for the weight of them, and they do look beautiful and they are quite easy to ride. In fact, I think this is probably, just jumping straight on it, is the most easiest bike I have ever ridden. I have not ridden anything as easy as this, just jumping straight on it. I thought that the S-Rads, the Suzuki's GSXRs were one of the easiest, but no, this is incredible. Really is. I think if you got yourself, if this was your first bike, after passing your test, if you could get insured on it, I don't think you would be disappointed. I think you would get on with this. It's so light, it feels like a 125, like an RS 125 or something. You jump on it, there's almost no weight to it whatsoever, nothing. And the gear selector is just smooth. You feel like sometimes it's dropped off because it's that smooth. The seat's comfy, although when you do go over some large bumps in the road, it does throw you forward, so my underpants are starting to turn into a thong now. But you know, this bike is one that everyone needs to experience, and if you see one low mileage in great condition, get them, because it's an investment as well. They are up and down in price, these. Some seem to be good. I mean, during COVID, some of these are fetching like 9 to 10 grand. But you know, it is a brilliant bike. It's very capable to keep up with, or you know, take on any sports bike, modern sport bike of this era. 1000cc. 1000cc bikes are getting far between now. You know, they're all going back to 650s and 750s hopefully, because of the emissions laws and stuff like that. But it's just an excellent bike for the money. It's beautiful. It's not a difficult thing to service for yourself. It's not expensive on parts. It's reliable. Fly me helmet. Let's have another little stop and have a look at him before I pack him away for the day, for the night. One thing I will say, the side stand look. It's best to shut the engine off before you get the side stand down, but you can see down there, it's quite close to the gear selector, and what you do is you hit that gear selector, it goes into bloody gear. I've done that quite a lot. So we don't know how much feels in him, do we? Oh, okay, actually, I'm not actually uncomfortable or aching, anything like that. My bum cheek's a little bit numb, but it's an impressive bike. It's a beautiful machine, is this. Got dirt splashes underneath it, so I need to give it a clean when I get home. But it is a wonderful machine. They do deserve to be up there with the 916s and 998s when it comes to beauty. When these bikes came out, Japanese weren't designing anything like this at all. They're all boxy square things, you know. But yeah, it's a work of art, this bike. All the TIG welding around the aluminium TIG weld, it's beautiful welding that all around there. I don't know if they're handmade or machine made, but it's a good job. Yeah, so what I've done with this one, the wheels powder coated silver, and just made it look like a 98 one. That's the bike I like, the 98 one. I think it's the best look. I don't like the ones with the 2000 models with the flashy graphics on the side. They're not ugly or nothing, but it's just not my thing. I do prefer this one over the red and white one, but it's got lots of carbon fibre goodies. Carbon fibre infill panels, carbon fibre front mud guard, and of course the exhaust. Why would you want a titanium exhaust on something like this? It does need a good old polish up though. But yeah, it's a beautiful machine. Great condition, this. I'll just kick the rear hug of the rear seat in it then with my boot. I put a voltage monitor on there. I've not got it switched on actually. It's actually switched on in the back, but I've kept that on there just to keep an eye on me the voltage when I'm riding it, because obviously I had issues with the stator, with the regulator rectifying the battery. So, but it's been all good that anyway. But I'm gonna take the bike home. You know something? I've not even set the suspension on this. I've not touched it. I've not even set the rear sag or anything like that. It just is what it is. I've worked on the bike. I repainted it and restored it, serviced it, but I've not actually touched the suspension or anything like that. I don't even know if they're offset or anything. But it doesn't feel like it anyway. The bike just rides like a brand new machine. It's so wonderful. Look at that beautiful metallic shining in the sunlight. Right then, let's get him home. But I am holding this corner now. and it just sits perfect. I'm so impressed with the suspension.